Hello friends, in my this video I am going to discuss about hum removal filter. What is hum? Hum is kind of noise. Suppose you are recording one audio signal, then some unwanted sinusoid signal of a particular frequency may be added in your audio signal, right? And that sinusoid signal may affect your audio signal by a huge amount. It may go to such level of distortion that it is not it is so much disturbing to hear that complete audio signal. So as a digital signal processing engineer, you should know how to remove a particular sinusoid frequency signal. Okay, so that is what hum is, and we will design such filter which will remove that particular sinusoid frequency noise, and that filter is hum removal filter. Okay, so prerequisite concepts required are: number one, how poles and zeros affect in the system response, that is magnitude response, and number two, which is very important, how DC removal filter is designed and what is its magnitude and pole zero plot. Okay, so see, if you recollect our previous video, we have discussed that DC removal filter magnitude response looks like this. If you consider the magnitude response from the picture itself, we can conclude how the filter works. See, at zero frequency there is a huge attenuation, and for all other frequencies the gain is almost same, so it will not affect other frequency components, but rather it will have a huge attenuation at zero frequency. So as a result, our DC part will be removed. Now hum removal filter will work kind of similar fashion like DC removal filter. I want to remove one particular frequency component. Okay, so suppose if you consider here zero frequency and here pi, which is maximum, and here minus pi. I hope you know that digital frequency ranges from 0 to pi, and from 0 to minus pi symmetric, even symmetric in case of magnitude response occurs. So suppose this is my amplitude 1. Now what will happen eventually, how hum filter will look like. Suppose the particular sinusoid signal which is added in our audio signal has the frequency of omega c, just I am telling normally. So what it should happen, and suppose omega c is appearing here. Now I have to remove this particular frequency component. So how our filter response should look like? If it is our axis, then it should not affect the lower frequency component. At omega c a huge attenuation should be there, and then and there it will go up so that it will not attenuate other frequency component further, and then it will go like this. And if you plot symmetrically, then in case of minus omega c also the filter should have a huge attenuation, and then and there it should go up so that it will not affect other frequency component, and it will go like this. So this is what our hum removal filter magnitude response look like. That's what I have drawn here, right? I hope you can understand intuitively why the magnitude response we should get like this. Now try to think how we can design such kind of filter from the DC removal filter. See, the DC removal filter, if we shift the magnitude response itself, we can get this hum removal filter. We have to shift one DC filter response in the left hand side, one to the right hand side, and we can get this, right? And from the response of hum removal filter itself, we can conclude one thing, that there should be two zeros here, once in the negative omega c and positive omega c. Two zeros should be present. Why? Because you know that zeros always try to attenuate the or decrease the magnitude response, and poles always try to increase the magnitude response. Okay, so basically as here the response is decreasing, so obviously two zeros must be present, or in simply we can say just DC removal filter should be present in case of shifted version, right? So this is what about our this particular magnitude response. So if you consider our DC removal filter pole zero plot, then we have got something pole zero plot like this, right? Where zero we are getting here. So when this is omega equal to 0, this is omega corresponds to pi by 2, and this is omega corresponds to pi. and 0 to pi is our point of interest actually. So when omega equal to 0, that means at 0 frequency, see here one 0 is present. This 0 will attenuate the magnitude response by a huge amount. Although closer to 0 one pole is also present, but due to closeness or nearness of 0, or at that point itself we can say 0 is present, so effect of 0 will be dominating, so 0 will decrease the magnitude response by a huge amount. And as soon as we go further from 0 to pi, suppose at this point or this point, what will happen, the distance from 0 to that point will increase and the effect of pole will start coming up. So what pole will do, pole will try to increase the system response, so as a result our system response will increase, so that at 0 we are getting one sharp decrease and after that we will get this kind of response in the DC removal filter. Now we have to shift the response of DC removal filter to get our magnitude response of Hume removal filter, right? So how we can do that? Now you have seen that if we have to shift the system response, what we have to do, we have to shift our pole zero plot. I hope you can understand easily. See here, DC response has to be shifted left hand side, right hand side. That means the 0 which was appearing at the DC frequency now has to be appeared on omega c and minus omega. There is certain frequency in between 0 to pi and 0 to minus pi. So how to shift the pole and 0? I hope you know that simply if we multiply the poles and zeros by e to the power j omega naught or j theta, it will shift. And to shift in the reverse direction, we will multiply by e to the power minus of j theta. Why? Because e to the power j theta has magnitude only 1 and minus j theta also has magnitude only 1. But the angle has, this one has theta, this one has minus theta. So it will affect only the angle part, not the magnitude part. So if you multiply e to the power j theta, what will happen? With 0 if you multiply, the 0 may appear here according to theta. If theta is certain, theta is it can be chosen where 0 may be shifted here, for other theta 0 may be shifted here, for other theta 0 may be shifted here. Anyway, that depends, 0 where new 0 will be located, that depends on your chosen theta or omega, right? Now similarly, if you have to shift the pole also, because whole DC response, whole DC removal filter response has to be shifted left or right. So not only 0, poles also has to be shifted. So what we will do, we will multiply our pole and 0 with certain e to the power j theta. Similarly, to get in the reverse direction, we have to multiply here with e to the power minus j theta, and here our poles and zeros should be there. So our new Hume removal filter pole zero plot should look like this. Okay, see here, the 0 and pole which were appearing at omega equal to 0 in the DC removal filter is just shifted by an angle in the positive and negative direction. Okay, symmetric. Because our Hume removal filter magnitude response is symmetric, so the symmetrically pole zero has to be shifted, right? Easily you can understand, I hope so. So now let us go to mathematical calculation, how we can do this shifting and what is our new response. So DC removal filter, with what we have worked earlier, we had numerator as 1 minus 1, denominator as 1 minus 0.95. In general, we can, if we can say, instead of minus 0.95, let us take some general term a, constant term a, and our magnitude, that is transfer function, what we are achieving from this particular numerator and denominator coefficient, it is quite simple. H of z as 1, this minus 1 denoting minus of z to the power minus 1, this one denoting 1, and this minus of 0.95 is denoting minus of a into z to the power minus 1. Here instead of 0.95 I have taken a to make it generalize. Now what I have told you, I require two DC removal filter response. One DC removal filter response I will shift in the right hand side, another one in the left hand side. So simply I have taken two DC removal filter response and I have multiplied. Now I have to shift the poles and zeros by multiplying e to the power j theta and by multiplying e to the power minus j theta. So the first filter response, this one, I am multiplying e to the power j omega naught to shift in the upper side, poles and zeros to shift in the upper side, and whatever factor you will multiply with pole, same factor you have to multiply with 0. Like here 0 we are multiplying into the power j omega naught, here also it minus j omega naught has to be multiplied. Okay, so now see, and in this filter, second DC removal filter, we want to shift in the downward direction, so we are multiplying e to the power minus j omega naught with 0. Similarly in the pole also we have to multiply e to the power minus j omega naught. So this is what our Hume removal filter becomes. Now simple mathematical simplification we can apply. If you multiply, I am showing the calculation only for numerator, you can further extend it for denominator also. So you can see, if you multiply 1 minus of e to the power minus j omega naught into z to the power minus 1 minus of e to the power minus j omega naught into z to the power minus 1 plus e to the power j omega naught into z to the power minus 1 into e to the power j omega minus j omega naught into z to the power minus 1. That's what I have written here after multiplication. Now you can see that further we can simplify e to the power j omega naught as cos omega naught plus j sin omega naught, right? Similarly, e to the power minus j omega naught as cos omega naught minus of j sin omega naught, and keeping this particular term unaffected, that is e to the power j omega naught into z to the power minus 1 into e to the power minus j omega naught into z to the power minus 1. Now if you observe what we can do, cos omega naught plus j sin omega naught multiplied by z to the power minus 1 minus cos omega naught minus j sin omega naught multiplied by z to the power minus 1. If you take z to the power minus 1 common, what will happen? See, here minus sign is there, so this particular term will be minus of cos omega naught minus of j sin omega naught minus of cos omega naught, and minus minus will become plus, so plus j sin omega naught. So minus j sin omega naught and plus j sin omega naught will cancel each other, only minus 2 cos omega naught we will get. So that's what I have written here, h of z is equal to 1 minus 2 cos omega naught into z to the power minus 1 coefficient which we were getting here, and e to the power j omega naught multiplied by e to the power minus j omega naught will result into 1, and as a result z to the power minus 1, and here one more z to the power minus 1 will be multiplied, and as a result we will get z to the power minus 2. Okay, so what we have written here, so numerator we are getting like this. Similarly same goes for denominator, just one extra term a will, constant term a will be multiplied. So h of z is equal to 1 minus 2 cos omega naught into z to the power minus 1 plus z to the power minus 2 by 1 minus 2 into a into cos omega naught multiplied by z to the power minus 1 plus a square into z to the power minus 2. Why a square? Because when we will take here this particular term, eventually what will happen, a into e to the power j omega naught z to the power minus 1 into a into e to the power minus j omega naught z to the power minus 1. So z to the power minus 1 z to the power minus 1 will become z to the power minus 2. E to the power j omega naught multiplied by e to the power minus j omega naught will become 1. A into a will become a square, right? So that I have written here a square z to the power minus 2. So our Hume removal filter magnitude, transfer function becomes this one. Now what we have to do? Simply verify using MATLAB. So what I have done here, simple line code, CLC clear all close all. Omega equal to minus pi to pi, I have given the frequency range. Numerator coefficient, what is our numerator coefficient? Numerator coefficient will be 1 minus of 2 cos omega naught and z to the power minus 2, that is coefficient is 1. So 1 minus 2 cos omega naught and 1. That's what I have written here. 1 minus 2 cos omega naught 1. I have taken omega naught, that the frequency where we have to shift it as pi by 3. That is, suppose pi by 3 sinusoid signal is added in our main audio signal and has corrupted. So if we want to remove the pi by 3 frequency component, so in that case we can use this kind of filter. Now for denominator, coefficients will be 1 minus 2 into a into cos omega naught and a square. The coefficients will be like this. A I have taken as 0.95, so our denominator becomes 1 minus 2 into a into cos pi by 3 into a square. Now freqz num comma den comma omega to get the frequency response, plot the magnitude part and phase part. That's all. Control A, evaluate selection. If I do, see, you can see the magnitude response. This is nothing but removing one particular frequency component and keeping all other frequency component unaffected. Okay, so I hope you can understand how the Hume removal filter has been designed from the DC removal filter. By shifting the DC removal filter itself, we can design the Hume removal filter, and how intuitively we can easily design IIR filter. I hope you have understood this. This is all for my this video. I am going to post the same code in the comment section or in the description box. Please go through that. If you are finding it difficult, please check the video once more, implement in MATLAB, try to visualize this. Surely I hope you can understand. If you have further doubt, please ask in the comment section. Thank you for watching.